Well, hello once again and welcome back to Classic Dirt Bike TV, where we continue with part 2 of the racing highlights from the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club's 2-day charity event that was held at Ballysallagh Road in Bangor on the 13th and 14th of August. So this will be the second block of racing from the Friday evening, and we're going to continue with the pre-1974s, pre-1970s and the pre-65s. So as the riders leave the line, another good start there by James Thompson. Looks like I think that's Cecil Pearson who's been knocked off his machine there, but as they make their way up the hill, it's actually John Griffiths who takes the early lead. James Thompson is in second position with Harry Stitt in third as they make their way up the hill. But as you can see, still a beautiful night here at Ballysallagh Road. The sun beginning to get a bit low in the sky, but nonetheless perfect racing conditions. But it's now number 26, James Thompson, who is your race leader. Second is John Griffiths. Third is Harry Stitt. It looks like Ian Buchanan is in fourth place with Trevor Calderwood in fifth. So your race leader is still James Thompson. James Thompson, of course, won the first pre-1970s and 74 class race of the evening earlier on. Number 32 there, Trevor Calderwood, chasing Ian Buchanan. And so as our race leader comes up the hill to complete lap 1, it's James Thompson who leads at number 33, John Griffiths, with Harry Stitt there, number 111, in third position. All three of these riders, of course, mounted on Cecil Pearson Jap machines. Now 4 laps, of course, for the classic bikes, and once we have the conclusion of this part 2 video from the Friday evening, we will then be posting the video footage from this Saturday's race programme, which of course is 3 blocks of racing, so plenty racing to come from this 2-day event here at Ballysallagh Road. So we're looking at Harry Stitt there, number 111, being chased by number 33, John Griffiths. And if you remember, these two had a cracking scrap in the first race of the evening. Number 4 there is Ian Buchanan. Number 32 is Trevor Calderwood. Both these riders on Czechoslovakian CZ machines. So it's another racing lap completed for number 26, James Thompson. I think it's still Harry Stitt in second position, being chased still by John Griffiths. But it's thanks to all the club members from the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club for laying out such a fantastic racetrack at this Cecil Pearson venue. So it's thanks to all the guys who took part in building this fantastic racetrack, as we take a look at number 111, Harry Stitt, in second position. Still John Griffiths there in third. Now this bike of Harry Stitt's is a frame that was designed and built by Harry himself, and Cecil has put one of his 600cc Jap motors into this Harry Stitt frame. But as you can see, a very quick little bike with Harry in the saddle. As we take a look at number 32, Trevor Calderwood. Now there doesn't seem to be any sign of our fourth placed rider Ian Buchanan, so that would mean that Trevor Calderwood will now move up into fourth position. But as our front runners cross the line for their last lap of the day, it's still James Thompson who leads Harry Stitt and John Griffiths there in third position. So here's your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag. This could possibly be James's second win of the night. on that very quick Cecil Pearson Rickman Jap. Now James of course will still have one more race left for the Friday evening's programme when he takes part in the Twin Shock Grade A class, and James will be riding his YZ 490 Yamaha in that particular race, which will be coming up very soon. But this has been another excellent ride by James Thompson, who took the lead of this race just almost from turn 1. So as he makes his way up the hill for the very last time, it's the second win of the evening for number 26, James Thompson on the Cecil Pearson Rickman Jap. It looks like Harry Stitt is going to cross the line in second position. Okay, that brings us around to race 10, which is the Youth 125 and 254 stroke class. These are the young guns of the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club, so the 5-second board is up. And as they leave the line, it looks like another good start there by Callum Pearson on his Husqvarna. Now I'm sure that Callum was the winner of the first Youth 125 and 254 strokes race, but as they make their way up the hill to begin lap 1, it is indeed Callum Pearson, number 93, your race leader. And I think in second position as they make their way up the hill there, I think that was Luke Stockdale, number 71, riding the Suzuki. So as our race leaders make their way into the centre part of the racetrack, it is still Callum Pearson, number 93, your race leader. Now, quite a few of these riders are not listed in the race programme or even on the club's website, so many of these riders are unidentifiable to me personally, but I'll try my best to pick a few of them out. But it's still Callum Pearson, number 93, on the Husqvarna as he comes round on lap 1. Number 611 on the KTM there, I think he is not listed in the programme once again, but number 700 there, I think it is. I think that could be Joel Donnan just going through on his YZ Yamaha. So as our race leader comes up the hill to complete lap 1, it's still number 93, Callum Pearson. It looks like it's still number 71 in third position. I think that's Luke Stockdale. Now the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club, of course, laid on the usual Irish hospitality for all the riders and spectators after the conclusion of this Friday evening's race event, and they had a huge barbecue and beer fest on display, whereby you just made a small donation to the charity, and then you basically just helped yourself to food and refreshments. And thanks once again to everybody involved in the hospitality after this Friday evening's race event. So we're still looking at our race leader, number 93, Callum Pearson. I think it's still number 611 on the KTM in second position. Luke Stockdale, number 71 there on the Suzuki, is in third. And as you can see, a beautiful evening here at Ballysallagh Road near Bangor, as we take a look at Callum Pearson making his way across the line to complete another racing lap. Number 611 on the KTM is still in second position. It looks like Luke Stockdale is still there in third on his Suzuki. As we take a look at our race leader, number 93, Callum Pearson, who I think is the grandson of the track owner, Cecil Pearson. But Callum doing very well in the second race of the evening. I think Callum's already won the first race of the day. So it looks like Callum's looking comfortable for possibly his second win of the afternoon. Now, of course, we will have all the racing action from the Saturday's race programme, which will be a full 3 blocks of racing. That's 27 races in total, so look out for the following videos from the Saturday's race event, which will be coming soon. So as we take a look at our race leaders as they make their way up the hill, it's still Callum Pearson, your race leader. We're looking at our second place man, number 611. Luke Stockdale there, number 71 on the Suzuki. But once again, I do apologise for not being able to name many of the other riders, but I did not have them listed in the race programme, and they were not listed in the club members on the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club's website, so I do apologise for not being able to name many more of the riders in this Youth 125 and 4 strokes race. But it's still number 93, Callum Pearson, who is on his way to his second win of the evening. Number 611 on the KTM is in second. Luke Stockdale, number 71 on Suzuki, is in third, but as they head up the hill, it's win number 2 for number 93, Callum Pearson. Now, once again, that brings us round to the first of the twin shock grade races. Now, this is grade C, and of course race 11 of 16. Another good field of riders for this grade C class race, and it looks like Aaron Bailey again has made a very good start on that what looks like a YZ Yamaha. So as they come up the hill to begin lap 1, I think it's number 154, Aaron Bailey, who has got the early lead. So as our race leaders make their way towards us, it's number 154, Aaron Bailey, who leads number 212. I think that's William Stevenson. Third position there is Eddie Long. I think that's Eddie Long on his 78 or 79 Michael, but it looks like our race leader, Aaron Bailey, has stalled his bike into the turn. So that makes our new race leader, this man here, number 212, that's William Stevenson on his 1978 YZ 400 Yamaha. Second is Eddie Long, number 275, and I think that could be John Campbell, who is in third position. So as they come up the hill to complete lap 1, it's number 212, William Stevenson, who leads number 275, Eddie Long on the 400 Michael. John Campbell is in third position. It looks like Wesley Stockdale is on his way on that big 480 Honda. So on lap 2, it's still William Stevenson first, second number 275 there, Eddie Long on the Michael. Looks like John Campbell is now down to fourth place. Wesley Stockdale at number 95 is in fifth. But it's still William Stevenson going quite well on that ancient 400 Yamaha. So as they make their way up the hill to complete another lap, it looks like it's still William Stevenson, your race leader now. I think we have a new second place rider. I think it's number 224. I think that's Errol Boyd riding that 250 Husqvarna machine. Eddie Long is still in third. John Campbell is in fourth. Wesley Stockdale is in fifth. But as you can see, as they come down from the hill, there is absolutely nothing between these first 6 or even 8 riders. But it's still William Stevenson, your race leader. Second is Errol Boyd on the Husqvarna. Third now is number 95, Wesley Stockdale. Eddie Long is now down to 4th place with John Campbell in 5th. And so as they all make their way towards the tabletop, it's now Errol Boyd who is your race leader. Second is William Stevenson. Third is Wesley Stockdale on that 480 Honda. But as they make their way across the finish line to complete another lap, it's Errol Boyd, number 224 on the 250 Husqvarna. Wesley Stockdale is now in second position, but this is a good battle at the front between Errol Boyd and Wesley Stockdale. So a good run here from these two quite quick riders, but it's still Errol Boyd who leads at number 95, Wesley Stockdale, but it looks like Wesley Stockdale's got other plans to take the lead of this Twin Shock Grade C-Class race, but it's still Errol Boyd on the 250 Husqvarna who is holding on to that first place position. And this of course is the final lap of this Grade C-Class race. So as the riders come up towards the checkered flag, who is it going to be, Errol Boyd or Wesley Stockdale? But it looks like it's going to be Wesley Stockdale who's going to take the win, with Errol Boyd crossing the line in second position. Okay, next up we have the Twin Shock Grade B class. Another good lineup of riders for this class. Maybe not as many as, of course, Grade C, but nonetheless quite a good lineup. So the 5-second board is up. And as they leave the line once again, another good start there by John Stokes, number 151. Remember, John Stokes won the first race in this class of the evening. But as they all make their way up the hill for the first time, it looks like it's number 4. I think that's Jeff Shaw on the YZ Yamaha, who is your early race leader. So it's Jeff Shaw who leads John Stokes in second position as they all make their way up the Pearson Hill, as I like to call it, but our commentator on the day, Roy Neal, tended to call that particular part of the track Horsepower Hill. But as they come towards us, it looks like it's number 151, John Stokes now who is your race leader. Number 4, Jeff Shaw is in second position. And in third position they are just going through, I think that's number 42, Raymond Cromie, who's moved up into that third place position. So as they make their way towards the tabletop on lap 1, it's still number 151, John Stokes from Shotts in Scotland, in Lanarkshire, who is your race leader on the 490 Michael. Second is number 4, Jeff Shaw on the YZ Yamaha. Number 42 is Raymond Cromie. And just coming towards us on the left there, number 55, that's Philip Pearson on the Jawa Berg. But this is another good ride here by John Stokes, number 151 on the 490 Michael. John, of course, was a winner of the first Twin Shock Grade B class race of the evening. Second is still Jeff Shaw. Number 42, Raymond Cromie, is in third. So as our race leader makes his way down from the hill section, it's still number 151, John Stokes, in first position. Second, Jeff Shaw, number 4 on the Yamaha. Third is Raymond Cromie there, number 42. And I think in fourth position is now number 252, that's Tad Haney on that Michael. Now this number 42 bike of Raymond Cromie, I think that's one of those CR480 Honda machines that Raymond is riding. Very quick machines, but Raymond's still doing well in that third place position. But it looks like Tad Haney has got other ideas about taking that position away from Raymond Cromie. Now, of course, all of these Twin Shock classes are sponsored by Kerry Turtle and her Fox's Den Cafe and Deli Bar in Jubilee Road in Newton Nards. So thanks to Kerry and all the rest of her gang for her generous sponsorship of the Twin Shock classes. And of course I can certainly vouch for the quality of the food at the Fox's Den, because I've dined there myself, and the food was 100% absolutely excellent. So thanks to Cecil for his hospitality at the Fox's Den. So we're looking at our race leader, number 151, John Stokes, on the 490 Michael. And of course, if you fancy giving this event a go yourself in 2022, then just keep your eye on the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club's website for the date for next year's event, and make a point in attending this charity do, because it's all for a good cause, to raise money for local charities. So as a race leader crosses the line, it's number 151. It's still John Stokes on the Michael. Looks like John's got quite a decent lead over second place man now, which is Raymond Comrie on that 480 Honda. And so as a race leader makes his way down from the top section of the track, we have a change of second place rider. It's number 252 now. That's Tad Haney. I think Tad's riding that, it's either a 400 or possibly even a 440 Michael from what looks like about 1978 or 79. So Tad looking very good for a second place at least in this race. I think he did quite well in the first grade B class race of the evening. So as a race leader comes up to take the checkered flag, it's going to be the second win of the evening for number 151 John Stokes, and you can see that Tad Haney is not too far behind there in second place. So it's a win for John Stokes at number 151. And there we have one of our local residents, the lovely Yvonne, coming down to see what all the noise is about. Okay, next up we have the final race for the Twin Shock Class Grade A. These are the faster boys of the Twin Shock class. So this will be their final race of the evening. It's another good start there by James Thompson on the YZ Yamaha. So as they make their way up the hill, it looks like Tommy Merton has taken the wide line and is now in command of this race. So it's Tommy Merton on the 430 Husqvarna who leads James Thompson on the YZ 490 Yamaha. Now, as you can see, the light just beginning to fade here at Ballysallagh Road, but nevertheless still enough light for these guys to see where they're going. But it's still Tommy Merton, number 2 on the Adrian Lappin 430 Husqvarna, who leads James Thompson on that equally quick Japanese 490 Yamaha. Now, these two also had a fantastic scrap in the first grade A-class race of the evening, and it looks like there's going to be another battle to the finish line between these two very talented riders of Tommy Merton and James Thompson. Number 5 there is John Allen, or Mad John as he's known to his mates. So as the riders come up to complete lap 1, it's Tommy Merton on the 430 CR Husqvarna who leads James Thompson on the 490 YZ Yamaha. Now, of course, 3 main charities will benefit from the proceedings from this 2-day event here at Ballysallagh Road. We have the Kidney Care UK and the Air Ambulance Northern Ireland, and of course the Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, which will all benefit from proceedings from this 2-day event here at Ballysallagh Ballysallagh Road. But it's still Tommy Merton, number 2 on the Husqvarna, who leads James Thompson, number 26. Both very quick riders on extremely quick bikes, but I think Tommy Merton's Husqvarna appears to make those turns much quicker than James's YZ. As you can see, the back end of that YZ Yamaha stepping out every time James snaps that throttle back, so that may be the difference between the two bikes. It appears that Tommy's bike is more tractable in the corners, but James, as you can see, has a slight advantage over horsepower and maybe top speed, but it's not the horsepower that matters, of course. It's how you transmit that power to the ground. Now, as I said, if this event looks like something that you may be interested in taking part in, or maybe even just attending in 2022, then just keep in touch with the Northern Ireland Classic Scramble Club's website, and you'll have all the details of the 2022 charity event. So it's still Tommy Merton who leads at number 26, James Thompson. Remember, James was riding one of Cecil Pearson's Japs in the classic races, so it must be quite a change jumping from a 1930s British-made Jap machine with the gear change on the opposite side, and then riding one of these Japanese rocket ships, these YZ 490s, which of course has the gear shifter on the opposite side. But that's the measure of this man, James Thompson, a very talented rider, and as you can see, he's getting much closer to Tommy Merton as they come round to complete another racing lap. But it's Tommy Merton on the Husqvarna with a slight advantage over James Thompson in second position. So as they head up the hill for their last and final lap of this Grade A class race of the evening, it's Tommy Merton who leads James Thompson. Now, as I said at the conclusion of this part 2 video, we will be posting all the racing footage from the Saturday's race programme, so make sure that you don't miss out on some of these fantastic races that are soon to come up here on Classic Dirt Bike TV. So as they head towards the checkered flag for their second race of the day, it's the Twin Shock Grade A class, and it's Tommy Merton on that Adrian Lappin prepared 430 Husqvarna machine. Looks like a good ride here by Tommy and of course James Thompson with absolutely nothing in it, and you can still see that YZ Yamaha of Tommy just can't seem to get the power down in the corners, with the back end of that YZ stepping out almost every time James snaps that throttle back. But as they head towards the checkered flag, it looks like it's going to be a good challenge to the finish line between Tommy Merton and James Thompson. So as they make the last and final turn to come up the hill, it's a slight advantage to Tommy Merton, but James Thompson is putting a challenge in, but it's going to be a win for number 2, Tommy Merton, with James Thompson in second position. Okay, next up it's the final race for the small and big wheel 85s in the youth class. This is race 14, of course. 2 more races to go, but it's a good start once again by number 10. That's little Alfie Heron on that flying Husqvarna. Looks like number 78 is in second position. But once again, many of these youth riders are not listed in the race programme, so it could be quite hard again to identify some of the riders, but nonetheless some very quick little riders in this class. And number 84 just coming towards us there at the back is Zoe Turtle on her little KTM. But here's your race leader, Alfie Heron. Second is at number 78, of course. Number 292 in third position there. Number 8, I think that could be little Matt Shaw on his KTM bike. Number 35, I think that's Daniel Pearson, who's just taken a little slide off his machine there as we take another look at number 84 at the back there. That's Zoe Turtle on her KTM. But this man here is certainly a little talent, this Alfie Heron. I'm not exactly sure how old Alfie will be, but as you can see, he's certainly got the style and the determination to make it big in motocross, so he could be one of Northern Ireland's greatest exports in terms of motocross in the years to come. So look out for this man's name in the motocross pages in the future years to come, Alfie Heron. But Alfie doing really well once again here, and currently in first position. Number 78 is still second. Number 8 again is little Matt Shaw on his KTM. So Alfie Heron crosses the line to complete another racing lap and heads up Pearson Hill. But I must say, I wasn't this talented myself when I was Alfie's age, but it's quite hard to enjoy yourself on a motocross track when all you have is a train set at that age. But these are very privileged youngsters, having these little bikes to squirt around a racetrack on when you're a youngster, and it's a different generation, of course, but this young man here, Alfie Heron, is certainly a little star in the making as he makes his way across the tabletop. So I think it's still this rider here, number 78, who is your second placed rider. I do apologise for not being able to name that particular rider, but here's your star man, Alfie Heron, as he heads up the hill, putting on the style as he takes the jump. But another good performance from this talented youngster. Now number 44 on the left here, I think that could be Christy Blair, and Daniel Pearson, of course, just going through there, number 35. So it looks like Alfie Heron is heading towards his second win of the evening on his little Husqvarna machine. And of course you can see Alfie in action again in the Saturday's race programme. So look out for little Alfie taking part in the coming videos here on Classic Dirt Bike TV. And so as our race leader makes his way up the hill for the very last time, it's another very good win for number 10, Alfie Heron. Now we're taking a look at, again at number 84, that's Zoe Turtle on her two-stroke KTM bike. This has been another good ride by Zoe on her machine. So it just goes to show that anything that the boys can do, then these girls can do equally well. So she comes to take the checkered flag. It's Zoe Turtle, number 84. Okay, that brings us around to the penultimate race of the evening. This is the pre-1977 class, race 15, of course, of 16. The 5-second board is now up. So as they leave the line, not surprisingly, another good start by number 26. That's James Thompson, but in fact, James is not riding his number 26 bike this time. James looks like he's riding Cecil Pearson's number 11 machine. So as they cross the line to begin lap 1, it's James Thompson, your race leader. Second looks like John Griffiths. Harry Stitt is in third place. Adrian Lappin looks like he's in fourth on that CZ. So this number 11 bike of James Thompson is another Harry Stitt designed frame, but very quick machine, and as you can see, James is equally quick on this number 11 bike as he is on his on his normal number 26 Rickman framed Jap, but James off to a flying start here on that Cecil Pearson number 11 machine. Second place is John Griffiths, number 33. Third is Harry Stitt, number 111. Number 12 is Adrian Lappin. But James has already won a couple of races at this event in the pre-1968 class, riding the Japs of course, but taking part in this pre-77 race on Cecil Pearson's Jap. Second place is number 33 there, that's John Griffiths, riding an Alan Clues CCM bike, as of course Harry Stitt in third place is also riding a CCM. Adrian Lappin is in fourth on the CZ. But this man here is certainly been one of the stars of the evening, James Thompson. Very quick, of course, on his Rickman Jap number 26 bike, but as you can see, equally fast on this Harry Stitt framed 600 Jap bike. These Japs, of course, don't run on regular petrol. They run on the more highly flammable methanol fuel. So it's still in second place, it's still John Griffiths with Harry Stitt currently in third. As we take a look at a few of the other riders going through, number 303 there, I think that's Ryan McMaster on the old CZ bike. So we're looking at our second placed and third placed riders, John Griffiths, who leads Harry Stitt, number 111, as both these CCM riders make their way up the Pearson Hill. Now, of course, you have to remember that these motors in these bikes are basically 1930s designed technology, but it's just amazing how fast these bikes still are in this modern day. But of course, these Jap engines were originally designed to be used in speedway bikes, so you can understand how these are very quick on these kind of tracks. Oh, looks like James Thompson's had some kind of mechanical issue coming off the jump there, so that makes this man here now number 33, John Griffiths, your race leader, with Harry Stitt, number 111, in second position. Now, in fact, I did manage to speak with James after this event, and he told me that when he came off the tabletop and the back wheel landed on the downward slope, it appeared to just lock up, and that's the reason that James hit the deck. But we are now looking at our brand new race leader, number 33, John Griffiths, who leads number 111, Harry Stitt, in second position. So both of these riders are now starting their last and final lap of this pre-1977 class race. And you can see James Thompson there trying to do something with the Jap, and appears to have still got the bike moving, but nonetheless James is certainly out of this race as we take a look at our first and second placed rider. But a very good scrap here between John Griffiths and Harry Stitt. Now, of course, both John Griffiths and Harry Stitt are part of the 5 or 6 man team that race the Jap bikes for Cecil Pearson. But of course, in this pre-1977 class race, they're both riding almost identical CCM bikes, but as they head towards the checkered flag. It's still John Griffiths with that slight advantage over Harry Stitt. So just a couple of corners to go before the end of this last pre-1977 class race of the evening. So as they head up the hill, it's John Griffiths with the slight advantage over Harry Stitt. But this has been a fantastic race between these two, but it's going to be John Griffiths who's going to take the win, with Harry Stitt in second position. And there you can see a very despondent James Thompson with the Cecil Pearson Jap. Looks like there's been some kind of mechanical issue with either the rear brake or possibly even the gearbox. Okay, that brings us around to the final race of the Friday evening. This is the junior 65cc class, the last race of the evening. So as they head up the hill, it looks like number 37 is your race leader, little Yamaha bike. Once again, a couple of these riders are not listed in the race program, but we'll, looks like we have a rider down on his little KTM, but he looks okay. But it looks like our early race leader is number 7. I think that's Ben Allen on his KX Kawasaki. Number 47 is in second position, and once again, unfortunately, I'm unable to identify that particular rider, but he's going very well on that little what looks like a PW or a YZ Yamaha. And number 9 just going through there, that's little Josh Coffey. So as our race leader comes up the hill to complete lap 1, it's still number 7, that's Ben Allen on his KX Kawasaki. I think it's still number 47 who is in second position there, as Ben makes his way up the Pearson Hill. These youngsters appear to look like they're enjoying the nice layout here at Cecil Pearson's racetrack. Now again, all of these youth class races over the course of the 2 days are sponsored by Function Design Furniture, so thanks to all the guys at Function Design for their generosity in sponsoring the youth classes at this Ballysallagh Road event. So here's your race leader, Ben Allen, number 7. So as we take a look at number, I think that's number 731, I think that's Jack Kerrigan, number 731 there, who's chasing number 9, Josh Coffey. So Jack looks like he's enjoying himself on that little bike. Josh Coffey there on the left hand side, number 9. And number 246 just going through there, I think that could be James Rankin on his little machine. So we're just looking at our riders making their way up the hill. I think that's number 731 once again. I think that's Jack Kerrigan just making his way across the finish line. So Jack starting another racing lap of this big racetrack here at Ballysallagh Road. As we take a look at number 7, our race leader, that's Ben Allen on his Kawasaki. Ben looking very comfortable at this point for another race win. Of course, Ben won the previous race here in this class. And these two riders appear to be having quite a nice little scrap as they make their way to the tabletop jump. So we're looking at our race leader as he heads up the hill for the last and final time, number 7, Ben Allen. But I do hope you've enjoyed all the racing footage from the Friday evening's race here at Ballysallagh Road. Don't forget after this we will be posting at least 4 or possibly even 5 videos from the Saturday's race programme, so make sure that you retune to Classic Dirt Bike TV to see the remaining races from this 2-day charity event. So it looks like Ben Allen is heading towards his second win of the day. So it looks like it's going to be win number 2 for this very talented youngster, Ben Allen, as he makes his way up the hill for the last and final time as the sun begins to go down here at Ballysallagh Road. Once again, thank you very much for watching the racing footage from the Friday evening's race programme as Ben Allen takes the checkered flag, and we look at some of the other riders finishing this last and final lap here at Ballysallagh Road. But once again, thank you very much for watching, and please make sure that you either subscribe or retune to Classic Dirt Bike TV to see the remaining 27 races from the Saturday's race programme coming up very soon here on Classic Dirt Bike TV.